We continue to check everything that it's in the right order, and I will check the valve spring now that it's they're lining up correctly, and I will try to sort them which is up and down. I actually see in the manual that if you look at the spring, it says that tighter let's say clearance between this is the bottom, and the one on the upper, more clearance between them are on the upside. And I figure out that if you cross path from the starting point to the other side and compare to cross path from the bottom to the other side, you can actually see small differences if it's up and down, which one is up and down. I imagine this, but I think I can see it anyway. And also the clearance, how much it can deviate from bottom left to the top is 1.8 millimeters. So you don't need too precise tool, but you need some tools to check that it's not too big of differences. And what you can do is you take something that has a very flat surface, or any decent flat, and you put it like this, and you take a steel brace like this, and from bottom to here it should be more than 1.8 millimeter, and 1.8 millimeter is a pretty big gap, so you can actually see if it's okay or not. So this one is you have a little bit of clearance between this and the bottom, but it's not 1.8 anyway, and you can rotate it and check if it's look okay or not. And this look actually pretty snug fit, so it's this one is good to go. And this one you do with all the valve springs, so you check them to make sure that it's are in the correct alignment. You also can check that they still have the right pressure, but for that you need a scale of some kind, and you can try to press them together. I will do that, but I don't have the scale here, so I will actually ask another guy, a friend of mine, do this pressure test for me, so I'll make sure they're okay. And if they're not into the limit of how much you can press them, I will actually change them. I have a couple of other CA18 engines I can take spare parts from them. But I think I don't know how common it is that the pressure has been changed or not. I think it's not that common. This one, as you can see, has some clearance on the top here, but it's not 1.8 millimeters, so it's fine. I think it's maybe one millimeter. And here I'm on the other side, so this one here on the top is connecting to the steel brace before here on the bottom. So as you can see, that was easy task and went past pretty fast. I will. I'm not sure if you remember when I started doing this CA18 restoration. I put all the keyboards in dash tape to not lose them. So I will clean them up and sort them to right place. Jag håller på att bli tokig. Yeah. And this I will do for all the other keepers, and it's a lot of hassle to do it. Makes me crazy. As you could see, I used the traditional way to put back the valve spring and keepers and everything for these 4 positions. But that took me a very long time. Even if I have like a magnetic tool, I can put the keepers on and try to pin them back in the right position, and then unmount this valve spring tool here. It really drove me crazy, you know. So the other 2 here, I use another technique that I found on YouTube, because the other tool, as I mentioned before, it didn't arrive from US. So this technique was very easy if you have the right knowledge how to do it. What you do, you take the valve spring and put it back here like this, and then you take the keeper, and you can actually put some fat on it if you want them to glue a little bit, but I don't think you really need it. This is optional, but I did it anyway. The white side here is up, and the going down like a cone is the downside. and you have like a small frame that will connect to the valve. So you put them back like this, but as you can see, it's a different size. It's not connected like this one here, but the keepers and everything here, and then you take a plastic bag, a little bit thicker plastic, and you fold it in 2 times like this, 1, 2, and you put them like this. All right, and then you take a socket, and I tried different socket size, but the right size was 17 millimeter. And the reason I have this is because you need a decent amount of weight to push it down. I think you can use a hammer, but I don't like to hammer inside my engine, so I will press down and I use my whole body weight. You hear something going back, and as you can see, this is back as it should. Yeah, way more easy than using this tool, because this tool here really drove me crazy. But this was fairly easy if you know the right size, and you have to have the right thickness of the plastic also, I think, because if you have too loose, it will too thin, it will go through, and if it's too thick, you cannot really press it down. So okay, I do continue. I don't think you actually need a grease. It might actually be more messy than helpful, but it's okay. Yeah, that's it. Now all valves on the intake and on the exhaust side are back in the right place. So I can highly recommend this technique comparing to using the regular traditional tool with this and try to put everything back together, because this was took a lot of time and just made me angry. But this one is so much easier. That means that you don't really need like a special tool that I was ordering, but I think I will try to find an enemy, because I have a lot of more engines to put together and disassembly, so it can be good to have a tool. But you don't really need it if you do this technique. This was easy enough.